Real quick, guys, if you want to help me get more videos out faster, you can donate to the channel at the Cash App down below. This helps me treat these videos more like a job and will help the channel and videos to grow and come out more often. I appreciate anyone who donates or doesn't donate, and don't feel like you have to be a fan of the channel. You can still show your support by liking and commenting on the video, and with that out of the way, hope you enjoyed the video. Welcome back, my students, to a brand new episode of Comic Class. In today's lesson, guys, we're looking at where the Tmnt would land in the Naruto universe. How far can they go before they're defeated? And we're going to be using the Mirage Turtles, which covers the first 1 to 62 issues of the original Tmnt Mirage run. And these turtles are pretty good in scaling, in that I think that they can get to a good amount into the Narutoverse. We're mainly going to be looking at just part 1 scaling, because I believe once we get into Shippuden, the power creep is just too insane, and there's no way that the turtles are going to last probably from past part 1 scaling. So we're mainly going to look at how far through part 1 do I think the turtles should go without getting killed off. And it's going to be a pretty interesting video. If you're not familiar with the Mirage Turtles, we're going to be going over some of their feats, going over their strength, speed, tech, and durability, as I always do in my versus battles. And yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into the first topic, which is going to be their strength. Now, the turtle strength basically are they're able to basically destroy pure metal Mausers. This is assuming the Mausers are made out of just straight titanium and not a special type of metal. Considering this is a comic book, it could be a different type of metal that's even stronger than titanium, considering that Baxter Stockman is considered one of the smartest minds that the Turtles go up against. So yeah, you have to take that into consideration. So they can basically break through solid steel, titanium, and this applies to all 4 turtles. Even Donatello and Michelangelo that don't use sharp weapons are still able to destroy the Mausers with pretty much ease. Which is a really good feat for them strength-wise. And they can take on multiple Mausers at once and just completely destroy them one at a time. So I thought that was really interesting to note. They also fight against Triceratons that are really superhuman in strength, and they're able to basically stab them with their weapons and penetrate their tough skin. They're also able to fight really well in hand-to-hand combat, able to even land some damage on the Triceratons with their just pure physical strength. They're able to even attack stuff like sandbags and almost basically bust it open. Able to basically take down wooden tables and that with just one single kick. And yeah, and they basically scale to each other as well, that they're able to fight each other in hand-to-hand combat and not take that much of a beating, and able to get up and continue fighting, or just continue on with their day. So yeah, strength wise, I would say that the turtles are probably around a Ginning / Chunin type opponent. We do know that some characters like Might Guy that are, I believe, Jonin in part 1 are very strong, and what we see in part 2, considering if we're going to consider that Might Guy powered up a lot, then you can't use this argument, but just considering he's able to fight up against people like Kizami that's considered to have Tail Beast levels of strength and chakra. Yeah, I believe he has Tail Beast levels of strength. I know for sure he has Tail Beast levels of chakra, Kizami, and he fights Guy with 30% of his power in Shippuden. So, like I said, if you're going to say Guy got way stronger, then I guess you can't use it, but if we assume that he didn't get such a power increase in those 3 years from part 1, then the people like Guy, or even close to him, should be way above the turtles. So I would say maybe Ginning and Chunin type opponents would have a hard time fighting the turtles in straight physical strength if they were to come to blows in hand-to-hand combat. So that's pretty interesting. The next thing we need to look at is their speed. Now, the turtle's speed is heavily downplayed, I bet, in versus battles, considering that people would consider a street type fighters like the turtles to not be that well in speed. The turtles are able to basically dodge gunfire at point blank range and even able to attack almost simultaneously as they're dodging. Danto was able to react to Shredder basically about to activate a thermite grenade, and he was able to hit him off the roof, basically having the Shredder basically explode with the thermite grenade in the alleyway. But it was like a split-second decision, so it shows that the reaction speed is really low. They're able to they're able to dodge basically laser beams, which should scale to about light speed. So their reaction speed, not their travel speed or their combat speed, but just their reaction speed, can scale to light. So, and they can basically attack almost simultaneously after they dodge the light attacks, the laser attacks. And this is shown multiple times with multiple turtles, so they all should be able to dodge laser beams, which, like I said, should scale to light speed. So that's really good. They're able to, like I said, be able to react to people in point-blank situations. And yeah, the laser beams themselves are able to attack Triceratons. One of the Triceratons actually got attacked by tons of the Ultrons that use their laser beams, which were like stun guns, and they basically attacked the Triceraton. Now you can say that it's different in this case because they're all aiming for one target, so it's going to be harder to dodge all those lasers at once. But yeah, these lasers are no joke in that they can even destroy Leonardo's sword. So they can cut through steel, basically, and the turtles were dodging them. They're able to dodge gunfire, like I said, pretty much consistently. They never really get hit by gunfire in the entire run, if I'm correct. And yeah, the people they fight against, when they got to the final portions of their run, they fought against Shredder's Elite Guard, which could outrun bullet fire, which should scale to about the speed of sound. This is consistent with Sasuke and other like Genin/Chunins. When they fought the Sound Ninja, they were able to dodge the sound attacks. And we should say people like maybe Five Gate Lee and Sasuke with the Curse Mark are able to move around these speeds or a little bit above it in travel speed, so that's pretty interesting. And yeah, so overall from a speed perspective, I think that when it comes to a speed perspective, the same thing. The turtles would go to about Chunin level, considering that when it comes to like physical speed and their travel speed and their combat speed, they're able to get about to the speed of sound, if not a little bit above. And in their reaction speed, almost no jutsu in part 1 should be able to blitz the turtles. So that's very important when you're doing a versus battle, in that blitzing just doesn't seem like an option, in that their reaction speed has been shown to be about light speed that they can actually react to. And this makes sense considering that they trained for about 15 years or around that time. So I'm pretty sure Splinter would have had them training against light attacks in some way, in capacity. And yeah, so overall, speed-wise, it will be a really good fight if they go from Genins and Chunins. Like I said, again, with people like Kakashi that can use his Raikiri to basically cut lightning, he might be able to get the drop on the turtles in a natural fight, because it's going to be, they're not constantly going to be able to dodge, light speed attacks if it's just continuous upon continuous. So eventually they would probably get tagged by Kakashi and people of that caliber that are like Jonins and stuff. So I would say that Genin and Chunin are probably I would say that Genin and Chunin would be like the cap for them, basically, to where they would scale in speed. And yeah, so let's jump into the next topic, which is gonna be their tech. The turtles are very tactical. They have a lot of tech with them. They basically use their weapons. Each one has a different weapon. Leonardo has katanas, Raphael has sais, Donatello has a stick, a bow staff, and Michelangelo uses nunchucks. And they're able to use their weapons pretty well, in that they're able to fight multiple opponents at once. They're even able to, while being attacked, be able to use their shurikens or any objects around them to basically take out their opponents with pinpoint accuracy. Like I said, they're getting fired upon when Michelangelo uses projectiles to basically take out the guards or the people that were trying to shoot them. When it comes to being attacked by multiple people, Leonardo himself is able to fight an entire foot army. This should be where a lot of the other turtles scale as well. If push were to come to shove, they would be able to do the same thing. They're able to scale to each other in hand-to-hand combat. Very skilled at that. And considering they're mutant turtles, they have a massive amount of superhuman strength with them. that go way above peak human strength. They're able to dodge shuriken attacks by using just their main weapons, and this has been shown very consistently. And again, they attack simultaneously while they do this, and they're just very skilled at using their weapons and their shuriken and dodging stuff like shuriken. So stuff like paper bombs or just regular shuriken are not going to work on the turtles. Period. They've also been able to fight shredders like mutated minions, his type of like clones, and these things are like super strong that they were able to cut up Triceratops basically into pieces, or at least rip his body to shreds basically. And the turtles were able to beat them basically. So their attack power and the way that they fight and their tactical abilities are able to beat people like the mutated shredder clones. And when it comes to hand-to-hand combat or sword combat, Leonardo was able to fight against Rogisaki the Shredder and was being overcome, but eventually came down to a chance with him getting lucky because of his brothers doing some type of explosion, giving him an opportunity to reset the match. And him and Rogisaki went for one final blow, and he basically cut off the Shredder's head and basically decapitated him, basically overcoming an opponent that was way more skilled than him. So, in a sense, if he were to fight someone that's not way, way above him, like Shredder was, he could pull off the win in a battle of, swords. Or weapons, I guess you would say. They fought a giant monster slash machine. I think it was like a giant machine. And this machine could literally, like, kill foot soldiers by just crushing their heads into nothing, like just squashing their heads and making it blow up into, like, a bloody mess. And they were able to fight this machine and not die, basically. I think they were even able to take it down eventually. He has fought, or they have fought, basically the Royal Guard, or Elite Guard, and they did really well against them, actually being able to beat all of them. Donatello used a nearby gun when his back was basically hurt, or his leg was hurt, and he basically used what he had to basically get the win. So they're not above using outside sources to basically be able to protect each other if the need is called, basically. If it's called for it, they'll basically use what they need to that's around them. So stuff like paper bombs or shuriken that might be lying around in the battlefield, they'll use it to basically attack any of the Naruto characters that they're fighting against. And like I said, the Elite Guard are very strong. They're the basically second line of defense after Shredder, or I guess line of attack. And they're very hard opponents to defeat for the Turtles, and considering that they're on a superhuman level, considering they're mutants, the Elite Guard, I don't believe, were ever confirmed to be mutated at all. So, this is very impressive that they're able to fight against the Turtles and almost beat them, basically. So, yeah, and that's basically it for Tech. Very talented fighters, all four of them, and all of them roughly scale to each other. So, no matter the situation on which turtle you're putting in the verses, they should all be able to do the feats the others are able to do, with the exception of Leonardo being very talented and has a lot of durability in what he'll take for his brothers. And yeah, so jumping into the final topic, we're going to be going over their durability. The turtles are able to fight against multiple opponents, basically armies of foot ninja on the regular when they go up against the Shredder. This is a very common trope when it comes to the turtles. In almost every iteration, they have to fight against multiple armies of the foot soldiers. That's just what they do. They're able to fight against Shredder. That's a very talented martial artist, and with his deadly like blades on his fist, he basically can cut the turtles' hides, which is very impressive considering that they're mutant turtles. They have very high durability. So there are things that can damage turtles, so we have to keep that in mind. Like I said, they're able to fight against the Triceratops that are very strong, maybe even stronger than the turtles themselves. And yeah, so they basically take off this Ultron's metal head or robot head. And you have to remember when it comes to the Ultrons that they're aliens from another planet. So we have to assume that this metal is not just normal metal. Unless they made these robot bodies here on Earth, then I guess they'd be regular metal slash titanium. Even if that's the case, that's ridiculous that they're able to just punch it off. And the turtles were taking hits from these guys. So yeah, they're very durable. Like I said, Leonardo was able to fight against the entire army of the Foot, and it's implied Shredder himself beat up Leonardo as well as his elite guard, and Leonardo didn't die. He was out of commission for about a month or so, but he didn't die, so like that's very important when talking about durability. And yeah, the turtles also took almost a point blank explosion to the face, and they were not damaged in the sense that they couldn't do nothing. They basically just acted like it was nothing and just shrugged it off, basically. And the story arc had ended with all turtles watching Shredder's body basically floating down the river, while they looked at, they had his, like, helmet on, like, Leonardo's swords or something like that. It was a really good panel to end the story arc. But they basically acted like nothing happened, and this was Raphael, Danto, and Michelangelo that tanked the explosion. Basically, they weren't like right on point blank, but they were really close to it, as you can see on panel. So, and Leonardo basically fell like an entire building's worth, if I'm correct, with one of the elite guard, and was fine and was able to fight the elite guard. And props to the elite guard as well that he was able to fight Leonardo too. Didn't look like he was damaged at all. So it was a really good fight between the two, and the fact that they were able to fall that far, I believe it was an entire building basically. It was at least a few floors that they fell, and they were completely fine. And yeah, and they just continued to fight their battle until Leonardo killed one of the elite guard, and ended the city at war storyline. Basically, ended the whole conflict. And yeah, so when it comes to durability, I think the turtles do really well in durability. Like I said, there are people like Kakashi that if they use the right Kiri, I'm pretty sure would kill the turtles in one shot. People like my guy, considering his strength level, being near Kizami, it seems, with his gates, would literally kill the turtles as well. I think anyone in a jonin sense, like I said with the rest of the video, should be able to kill the turtles with ease. But anyone that's not jonin, I just don't see it. There's some exceptions, of course, to the rule, being people like Gaara that have Shukaku, and if he was able to, use Shukaku for putting that in the versus battle, then yeah, 100% he's killing the turtles. But people like Sasuke, people like Naruto, almost everyone, even someone like Neji, might be able to be countered by the turtles, in the fact that what they're able to react to is way above what Neji can even produce. And Neji, with his ultimate defense, I don't know if he'd be able to do it simultaneously with all four turtles. Now, in a one-on-one fight, probably would be able to solo the turtles, because they wouldn't really be able to do anything if he keeps using rotation. But for most fighters in the Konoha 11, I believe is what they're called, in part 1, I do think the turtles would beat them 100% in what they were able to do in this run. And that's mainly what I skill the turtles, is that I believe they could defeat most of the Konoha 11, with the exception of maybe Gates Lee and maybe Gaara if he uses Shukaku. But other than those two exceptions, then I don't know if anyone else will be able to beat the turtles. Naruto has the Nine-Tailed Fox's power. If anything, with how Naruto is written, he probably would beat the turtles, that he would use the Nine-Tailed power. And if not, he could use Gamma Bunta, even though he usually doesn't do that. But considering we're talking about, Genin / Chunins, I'm guessing we would assume that we're putting the turtles in, like, the Chunin exams arc. So if that's the case, then Naruto would use Gamma Bunta, I guess. So therefore, he would get the win. So I guess it would be like 3 out of the Konoha 11. Well, Gaara's not part of Konoha 11. But 3 fighters out of the original generation would definitely beat the turtles. But other than those 3, I do think everyone else is getting beat by the turtles. And that's pretty much where I scale the turtles if you were to drop them into part 1 Naruto. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video when it comes to this battle. Overall, the turtles to me take the Konoha 11, with the exception of Naruto using his plot device with the Nine-Tailed Fox Chakra / Gamma Bunta as well, being a win condition, and Gaara's Sand and Rock Lee using 5 gates, because that would just be on a different level. And like I said, even though the turtles can react to light speed attacks, this would be continuous, and eventually I believe they would get Tad. That's all it would take for Rock Lee to basically kill them. Maybe even in one shot. But that's basically it. When it came to speed, guys, I wanted y'all to understand that people like Kakashi that scale to above lightning are implied to only reach that level when they use Raikiri, when he uses a technique to reach those levels. Something similar with the Raikage is that he uses a technique to basically boost his speed. So I didn't want to like put all Jonin on that level, which is very clear from the lore in part 1 and before part 2 was created, that Kashi had to use Raikiri to basically cut the lightning, which is why he started calling Chidori Raikiri the Lightning Blade, because he cut lightning. And yeah, so I'm not going to scale all the Jonin to Kakashi because that just wouldn't be genuine, but I do believe all the Jonins would basically beat the turtles. You could make an argument for Kurenai because Kurenai uses like illusions. I don't know if she has any skills in taijutsu or ninjutsu, but illusions themselves are very powerful, so maybe she can get the win with that. But most Jonin, if not all Jonin, are going to beat the turtles. At least their Mirage first issue to 62 run, they're getting basically beat by any Jonin in part 1. At least in my opinion. But that's going to be all, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this versus battle. This is a new series on my channel where I take a Naruto character. This time we're talking about the whole Naruto part 1, but mainly we're doing characters versus a comic book character, be it from Marvel, DC, Star Wars, or something else, another comic industry or universe or whatever. Mainly comic characters versus the Narutoverse is this series, and the next video on this series is going to be amazing. I don't want to spoil who's going to fight who, but I'm really looking forward to it. So if you're watching this, make sure you subscribe, because hopefully that will be out next Sunday. But yeah, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and comment down below what you thought about this verse battle. Do you agree that the turtles, after going over their feats of strength, speed, tech, and durability, that they would scale to all the Konoha 11 basically in part 1 Naruto? And do you think that they could actually pull off the win on most of these characters? And do you think they scale to getting to Chunin level in the Naruto part 1 story? Do you think they scale to them? And I just want to hear you guys' opinion on it. If you're not familiar with the Mirage Turtles, I do recommend you check out my playlist where I go over every canon story arc in the original TMNT Mirage run. That'll be at the end screen at the end of the video. And yeah, like I said, subscribe for more versus battles in the future between the Narutoverse and comic book universes and comic book characters. But until next video, guys, God bless you. Until the next lesson, keep on reading those comics.